Dear student, today we shall discuss myelodysplastic syndrome, shortly it is known as MDS. So let us try to define MDS, that is myelodysplastic syndrome. Myelodysplastic syndrome is a heterogeneous group of clonal disorder of hematopoietic stem cell. It is characterized by mainly these features. The first important feature is that the bone marrow undergo dysplastic changes, especially in the myeloid series, and that lead to the ineffective erythropoiesis. So ineffective erythropoiesis again lead to there is cytopenia in the blood. The all component of hematopoietic stem cell, RBC, WBC, platelet are going to decrease. So there is cytopenia. The bone marrow, which is hypercellular and so dysplastic changes, it is associated with genetic abnormality. And the another important feature in the bone marrow is that the dysplastic changes lead to a variety of manifestation. So this is the basic defect and basic pathological changes in MDS in the bone marrow. Again, like other disorders, hematopoietic neoplasm, it is may be primary and may be secondary. Primary means the idiopathic etiology no unknown, and the cytogenetic abnormality is seen in the primary MDS. The secondary MDS is associated with other causes like prolonged exposure of cytotoxic drug, myelosuppressive drug, or radiation that may lead to the secondary myelodysplastic syndrome. The myelodysplastic syndrome, it is known as a pre-malignant condition, meaning by that may lead to the development of hematopoietic neoplasm. Most commonly, the MDS is converted or transformed into the acute leukemia, especially AML. So the picture of AML and MDS are very much similar. So that may lead to the confusion, and differential diagnosis is made by the different characteristic changes in both condition MDS and AML. Regarding MDS, it has been suggested that the myeloblast is the main cell that is seen in the blood as well as in the bone marrow. So first of all, the MDS is classified on the basis of percentage of myeloblast in the bone marrow and in the blood. This classification is known as FAB classification, and it is again sub-classified in different way, different form, that are first refractory anemia, where the blast cell is very few, less than 1% in the blood and bone marrow. Second, refractory anemia with ring sideroblast. The ring sideroblast is present more than 15%, but blast cell is less than 5%. Another feature, another subtype of MDS is known as refractive anemia with excess blast. Here, the blast cell, myeloblast cell, are more than 5-10% in bone marrow and blood. Another subdivision that is known as refractive anemia with excess of blast in transformation, and here the blast cells are very dominantly seen in blood and bone marrow, more than 20 or 30%, but it not crosses the 30%, it is less than 30%. And the last subtype of FAB classification of MDS is known as chronic myelomonocytic leukemia, CMML. Here in the blood there is dominancy of monocytes, so there is monocytosis. So these are the 5 subtype of MDS given by FAB classification. Here this basis is mainly depends upon the percentage of myeloblast in the bone marrow and blood. For the diagnosis of MDS, it has been said by the FAB classification that the minimum myeloblast in the bone marrow should be less than 30%. The 30%, less than 30%, if it is present myeloblast in the bone marrow, then we think about MDS. And if it is more than 30%, it is considered as AML. So this is the landmark. 30% is the landmark of to say MDS or AML. But this classification has got many drawbacks. So WHO has given the recent classification, revised classification of MDS. WHO classify MDS on the basis of degree of dysplastic changes in the bone marrow. Number 1, what is the percentage of blast cell in the blood and bone marrow? Number 3, what is the type and extent of cytopenia? Cytopenia in the blood, what is their extent? How much cytopenia is seen? And what is the relation with the cytogenetics? So taking the consideration of these 4 criteria, that is degree of dysplasia, that is percentage of plastic cell in the bone marrow and blood, that is extent of cytopenia and association with cytogenetics. These 4 criteria give the revised WHO classification of MDS, and it is given in this way. First, the MDS with single lineage dysplasia. Number 2, MDS with multi-lineage dysplasia. Number 3, MDS with ring sideroblast, which may be either single lineage dysplasia or it may be multi-lineage dysplasia. So there are 2 again subtype, single and multi-lineage dysplasia. The 4th variety subdivision, that is MDS with excess blast. 5th, MDS with isolated deficiency of chromosome 5. This is a very important thing, that MDS is associated with the deficiency or deletion of a part of long arm of chromosome 5. Another subtype, that is known as MDS unclassified. Another, next, refractory cytopenia of child. Refractory cytopenia of child. And the last one is known as myeloid neoplasia with germ-line predisposition. So there are 8 subdivisions that is given in WHO classification. The basic difference between 2 classifications, that is FAB classification and WHO classification, is that according to the WHO क्लासिफिकेशन के अनुसार MDS और AML का जो लैंडमार्क है वो 20% का रखा गया, जबकि आपने देखा कि MDS FAB क्लासिफिकेशन में 30% वाज द लैंडमार्क, मीनिंग बाई फॉर टू से MDS the myeloblast should be less than 20% in the bone marrow, and to say AML it must be more than 20% in the bone marrow. So this is the basic first difference between FAB and WHO classification. That is, in the FAB it was 30%, but here it is 20%. 20% से कम माइलोब्लास्ट है तो हम लोग MDS सोचते हैं, 20% से ज़्यादा माइलोब्लास्ट है बोन मैरो में तो हम लोग AML की तरफ सोचते हैं. The second difference in both FAB and WHO classification is that in FAB classification we use the term refractory anemia, but here the refractory word is not used. Here the two word is used, single lineage and multi lineage. So this is the second difference. The third difference is that in case of FAB classification, refractory anemia with excess blast, it is changed into AML, that is given in WHO classification. So refractory anemia with excess blast may be transformed into AML, that is stressed or given by WHO classification, which is not given in the FAB classification. उसी तरह एक और डिफरेंस है कि FAB क्लासिफिकेशन है CMML, क्रोनिक माइलोमोनोसिटिक ल्यूकेमिया, उसको रिप्लेस करता है WHO क्लासिफिकेशन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ MPN और MDS, माइलोडिस्प्लास्टिक सिंड्रोम और माइलोप्रोलिफरेटिव न्यूप्लेसिया. तो उस CMML का इस्तेमाल यहाँ नहीं होगा WHO में, उसके जगह पर हम लोग MDS या MDS का यूज करते हैं. तो दीज आर द बेसिक डिफरेंस बिटवीन FAB classification and WHO classification. So you must know the WHO classification of myelodysplastic syndrome. Another important feature that is clinically your patient suffering from MDS is more than 50 to 60 years of the age. The disease progress is insidious, progressive in nature, and your patient mainly male are very dominantly affected than female, and the patient present with the features of anemia like weakness, lethargic, malaise, weight loss, anorexia, due to the hypermetabolism, dysplastic changes is going to seen in bone marrow. So unexplained fever, weight loss, anorexia is seen in the patient. Fever is due to the neutropenia, basically infection due to the neutropenia. Bleeding tendency is also seen here due to the thrombocytopenia. And the another remarkable feature that is known as splenomegaly is very much markable here. So all features are more or less similar to the AML. So clinically we are not able to differentiate AML from MDS because the presentation is very much similar. So now what should be the criteria for confirmation of diagnosis as well as for the differential diagnosis of MDS? That will be done by laboratory findings. The laboratory findings is very important for the confirmation of diagnosis of MDS and its differentiation from AML also. What will be the laboratory finding in MDS? The first will be your patient is anemic, so certainly the hemoglobin concentration will be lower than 10 gram per DL. The RBC picture is important here. In case of MDS, the RBC is usually microcytic, so the MCV level is increased. Ovulocytes is seen. Sometimes RBC is normal, sometimes dimorphic. So this type of RBC is seen in case of MDS. So for the WBC is concerned, their number will be maybe increase, maybe decrease, or it may be normal. But neutropenia is very much markable. It is very much hyposegmented and hypogranular. This is a very remarkable finding. The neutrophil is hyposegmented. Usually bilobed form of neutrophil is seen, and it is also hypogranular. So the count is generally decreased. And the another important feature that especially seen in the CMML, that the chronic myelomonocytic leukemia in the FAB classification, there is monocytosis. So the count will be in this condition, the total count of WBC will be increased, and monocytes are very much dominant. And in the blood there will be presence of myeloblast in different percentage according to the dysplastic changes in the bone marrow. प्लेटलेट काउंट का जहाँ तक सवाल है वो भी घटा ही रहेगा या नॉर्मल रहेगा, बट सम ऑफ द प्लेटलेट आर एबनॉर्मल इन द फॉर्म ऑफ लार्ज ए ग्रेनुलर प्लेटलेट. So this type of picture is seen in the peripheral blood smear examination in the patient suffering from MDS. Sometimes we do bone marrow, and in the bone marrow the solubility is either increased or it may be decreased or it may be normal, but most commonly it is usually hypercellular because of the dysplastic changes are seen in the hematopoietic stem cell. Erythroid series especially show hyperplasia and it show dyserythropoiesis. It is a very remarkable finding that is seen in MDS. Dyserythropoiesis means varial type of RBC is seen in the bone marrow. Some of the RBC is multinucleated, some are premature in the form of normoblast. There is a budding of nucleus, that is a very important finding, budding of nucleus of RBC. And sometimes megaloblast is also seen here. Sideroblast may be seen in case of MDS in the bone marrow. Sideroblast of different percentage is seen. So the RBC picture in the bone marrow is very important for the diagnosis of MDS because there is a dyserythropoiesis. A different type of RBC is seen in the form of either sideroblast, megaloblast, or in the form of nucleated RBC, normoblast. Myeloid series is left-sided, shifted. It is variable in case of myelodysplastic syndrome. Usually the myeloblast is less than 20% in case of MDS, but as you know that if it is AML it should be more than 20%. So the myeloid percentage is very important for the differentiating. Myeloblast percentage is very important for differentiating MDS and AML. Myeloid element are again it is hyposegmented type of neutrophil or myeloid element is seen in the bone marrow. मेगाकैरियोसाइटिक सीरीज का जहाँ तक सवाल है वो भी देयर इज ए करेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर इज सीन इन बोन मैरो दैट इज देयर इज डेवार्फ मेगाकैरियोसाइट विथ ए यूनिलोब्ड न्यूक्लियस. अगेन आई रिपीट हियर, देयर इज डेवार्फ मेगाकैरियोसाइट with a unilobed nucleus. So this type of platelet is seen in the MDS in the bone marrow. So these are the findings of bone marrow and laboratory blood picture. We correlate all these findings for the confirmation of diagnosis. Again, if the facility available, cytogenetic study is done, and cytogenetic study shows that in the most cases of MDS there is abnormal chromosome, especially there is a deletion or deficiency of a part of chromosome number 5, long arm especially, and this is very commonly association. Abnormality is associated with MDS. So in this way the cytogenetic, sometimes the 7th number chromosome also has got some deletion. So this is the basic defect can be seen in chromosomal study in 80 to 90% of the cases of MDS. डिफरेंशियल डायग्नोसिस की जहाँ तक बात है, चूँकि MDS का ब्लड पिक्चर और MDS का क्लिनिकल पिक्चर वेरी सिमिलर होता है AML के तरह, तो AML इज़ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट डिफरेंशियल because you know that a case of MDS may be converted into AML if the blast cell undergo proliferation, excess, or if it is transferred. So the differential diagnosis is first made on the this ground that in case of AML the myeloblast is in the bone marrow is more than 20%, and it is less than in case of MDS. So this is the first differential diagnosis made from AML. सेकेंड डिफरेंशियल डायग्नोसिस कभी कभी MDS से हम लोग करते हैं कि साइटोपिनिया, यू नो दैट साइटोपिनिया इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फाइंडिंग इन द blood. So all causes of cytopenia is differentiated from MDS, especially HIV infection या cytotoxic drug given to the patient and he has got cytopenia. Another cause cytopenia, that radiation when the bone marrow is failed or suppressed, or in case of a plastic anemia there is cytopenia. So all causes of cytopenia should be differentiated from MDS. मेगालोब्लास्टिक एनीमिया भी कभी कभी हमसे कन्फ्यूजन होता है, तो उससे भी हम लोग डिफ्रेंशिएट करते हैं. तो बाय टेकिंग द क्लियर हिस्ट्री, टेकिंग द प्रॉपर एग्जामिनेशन, taking the laboratory findings, taking the bone marrow findings, and after correlating all these features, all these findings, certainly we are able to confirm a case of MDS, and we also help able to differentiate MDS from the similar condition. So these are the differential diagnosis of MDS. सो फॉर द कन्फर्मेशन ऑफ डायग्नोसिस, अगर हम लोग को डायग्नोसिस से कन्फर्म करना है तो बहुत कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्ट को हम लोग लेकर के चलते हैं फॉर रिगार्डिंग MDS. तो पहला हम लोग ये देखते हैं कि प्रेजेंस ऑफ डिस्प्लास्टिक सेल इन द हिमोपोएटिक स्टेम सीरीज इन द कितना है. तो फॉर द डायग्नोसिस इट मस्ट बी more than 10 in the bone marrow. माने presence of dysplastic cell in the hemopoietic stem cell, dysplasia must be more than 10 to say MDS. This is the first point. Second, the hemoglobin concentration should be less than 10 gram per dl. The platelet count should be less than 1 lakh microliter. Absolute neutrophil count should be less than 1000 microliter. There should be presence of isolated deficiency of part of chromosome number 5. The blast cell must be less than 20%. And the cytogenetic study shows some of the mutation in the gene, especially known as SF3B and TP53. So these type of findings, presence of dysplasia, cytopenia, platelet count, neutrophil count, hemoglobin percentage, cytogenetic finding like deficiency of isolated chromosome 5, mutation in the gene. These are the criteria, these are the point by which we are able to certainly confirm the diagnosis of MDS. So to say MDS, these criteria should be taken and take in your mind for the confirmation as well as for the differentiation of MDS from other condition. हम लोग साइटोपेनिया को लेके चलेंगे, डिस्प्लास्टिक सेल का मॉर्फोलॉजी, बोन मैरो में मॉर्फोलॉजिकल चेंजेस, दैट इज द डिस्प्लेसिया को देखना है, प्लेटलेट काउंट, न्यूट्रोफिल काउंट सबको देखना है, और उसके बाद अगर अवेलेबल है तो साइटोजेनेटिक स्टडी देखना है. ये सारे क्राइटेरिया को लेकर के ही हम लोग सक्षम होते हैं फॉर द कन्फर्मेशन ऑफ MDS. So for the prognosis of MDS is concerned, it is all of you know that there is a dysplastic changes is seen in the myeloid series in the hemopoietic stem cell. So the best treatment is given. Curative treatment is only that is the allogenic bone transplantation. This is the most important treatment, and if it is done, your patient may survive for long period. But as you know that this is a dysplastic condition, so it may be converted into myeloid neoplasm, especially it may be converted into the AML. There is cytopenia, there is thrombocytopenia, anemia, neutropenia. So certainly the patient is very much vulnerable for the infection and bleeding tendency. So that may lead to the morbidity and mortality of the patient. This is the main complication. Bleeding and infection is the main complication and main cause of the death even in case of MDS. So the prognosis depends upon what treatment is given, in what stage your patient. If the patient is in the initial stage, meaning by if the patient has got deletion of the 5 associated with the deletion of 5 a part of chromosome number 5, or if your patient in the stage of ring sideroblastic stage, the prognosis is good, because in this stage if you given the conservative treatment even your patient may survive for more than 5 years in this condition. But if your patient in the blastic stage, in the blast transformation stage, or if it is associated with CMML, chronic myelomonocytic leukemia, with excess of blast if is seen, certainly the prognosis will be bad and your patient may die within a month or within 2 years following after diagnosis. So prognosis depends upon a variety of features, whether what is the extent of dysplastic changes, how much there is cytopenia, what treatment is given, facility is given to the patient, what is the to what extent it is associated with the cytogenetics. So these features decide the prognosis and even the therapeutic monitoring of your patient, because if a patient is in the initial stage, in the ring sideroblastic stage, or even in case in the refractory anemia in the initial stage, so your patient has got better prognosis. If your patient is found in blastic stage, excess of blast or transformed stage, then certainly the prognosis will be bad or even worse. So this is the prognosis depend a lot of many factors you must take in your mind. So in this way the MDS is diagnosed, MDS is confirmed, MDS is differentiated, and also these are the main important fact about the MDS, and this is all about MDS. In the next class we shall discuss chronic lymphocytic leukemia, that meaning by we pass into the lymphoproliferative disorders. We have already complete myeloproliferative disorders. So in the next class we shall start lymphoproliferative disorder, and the first will be CLL. Till thank you to all.